So we're speaking about self-care, and more so for us, what does it mean for us to care for ourselves? One, being so far away from home, coming from South Africa, coming from Botswana. There's this term called transitional objects in the psych world, and it's typically something that a small child who's kind of learning to separate from their primary caretaker, something that helps them navigate being on their own without their caretaker. My sister's a speech therapist, and she was saying to me that sometimes small children struggle to separate from their primary caretakers, and you'll typically find they have like a doll or a blanket, and she says what's really, really helpful is like if the mother or the father or whoever the primary caretaker is leaves something of like their scent or something that helps them feel like, okay, they're close even if they're not physically there. And so I'm wondering, for us and these transitions that we are making, what are some of the things that help us like navigate this new space?
I am definitely going through a journey with food. So yeah, so if anybody like knows me, I'm trying to transition to veganism. One thing though that I've held on to, and this is not vegan or not, it's just a condiment actually, is sweet chili. And I know you know this because when you went home, I was like, please make me sweet chili. And my mom keeps sending me sweet chili. I mean, they sweet chili here, but I don't know if maybe because we use real sugar, I don't know what it is. It just don't taste the same. And it gives me that memory of home. So even as I'm transitioning into this, whatever meal I have, I'm like trying to figure out how can I add some sweet chili into this. And my mom knowing that as well, like I didn't even ask for it. She just like sent it and I was like, did I eat this a lot when I was at home? Like, why does she think that I really need this? But it was the thing I needed.
Two things that come to mind is one, porridge.
Porridge?
Like that from home. Yeah, and I remember, when I was leaving home, my grand gave me some porridge. And it's interesting because I didn't even eat it that regularly, but all of a sudden, this was one of the few things that just made sense.
Yeah.
And every single morning I would have porridge, and it just made things a little bit better. There was something that was familiar.
And it was specifically a porridge you can't get from here, like it's a porridge at home.
Yes. And then the other thing was tea. I started drinking a lot of Five Roses and Joko tea. And again, like in amounts that I never used to drink before. But it's like I need to start my day off with a cup of black tea with lots of milk. I mean, I wasn't really thinking of those two things so much as transitional objects, but as I was reflecting on this, I realized, wow, that's something that I do.
Sunlight soap. Sunlight soap. If I can tell people about the joys of a bar of soap that can wash your skin, that can wash your hair, that can wash your clothes, your shoes, there's nothing it will not clean. It is. When I asked for that, my parents are just like, they don't have like bar soap, but I'm like, they have bar soap, but it's just not the same. And which is funny because growing up, you wouldn't get me. I wouldn't wash a thing. Like my mom would be like, wash your uniform. No, and somebody would have to wash it. And moving here, it's almost as if that soap is a reminder of all the things my mom used to say. Like she's like, make your bed when you wake up in the morning, do your laundry. What are you gonna do when you're grown up and you're not at home? And I'm like washing myself and I'm like, yo, Ma, I made it. Like, I'm here, I've grown up. So definitely sunlight soap. Yeah, I've had to take care of myself in a way that I didn't when I was at home. And I've had to really like, yo, Dee, you need to start really taking care of yourself. Like, show that you love yourself. The making of my bed My mom always like used to drum that in, make your bed when you wake up. And I just thought she was nagging, and I didn't. I've noticed just how, firstly, cathartic it is to make your bed in the morning, how it sets the tone, and how it says a lot about where you are mentally. Like, if I know I'm really scattered, I'll see it in my room. And now I take an extra effort into making sure I make my bed in the morning, and that kind of just aligns me. And because even if I'm not prepared, or even if it's still a pretty hectic season that I'm going through, there's that sense of normalcy and that sense of control that I have over myself, over my care, making sure that I'm okay even through what I'm going through.
I can relate to that as well. Like the things my mom told me about making the bed, washing the dishes and whatever, you wouldn't think that you're taking care of yourself by doing that. You're thinking, oh, like I'm adding like this burden of tasks and chores I have to do. But it actually just makes you sane to walk into a home that is, in order. Into a room that is in order. There's something, because even like when I feel like my life is chaotic, I agree with you, it's reflected in the state of my home. And when I feel like I need to sort of center myself, usually no matter how busy I am, I'll be like, okay, I just need to tidy up. Tidying up is just gonna like help me just like feeling a little bit okay, or like things are more manageable. Yeah.
I mean, for me, I feel in relation to trying to navigate identity in this cultural context, because you're in a completely different culture and environment, and everyone is doing things a certain way, and it's almost like you constantly going against the grain. And my mom likes saying this, is just the notion of remembering where you come from. Just finding security in who I am, and being able to offer a different view, even if I'm the only person. I come from a different location, from a different context, and it's important too,
That's actually where how I have my self-care. For me, it comes from doing things that help me to remember home and to feel more connected to home. So for example, one way is through music. I listen to music to inspire me in my writing, if I need to just like de-stress, whatever. And also when I need to center myself in like a feeling of home. So I'll like I downloaded like the Soweto Gospel Choir albums. I downloaded Hugh Masekela stuff, even like the latest stuff, because sometimes I'm just like, I really just miss the sound of South Africa. Just the sound, And then even like the church I attend. So I felt like I need more of a connection to the way I understand church, and something that that feels more familiar. And so I found this Black church that does church very similar to how church is done at home. And I was just like, this feels like home, man. Like I can come here, the way people like focus on music and choirs, and the way the pastor speaks, like it just all felt so familiar. The way like Black people will stay forever at church, just like, and how they'll spend like, I don't know, the first hour and a half just like talking about prayer requests. So it was just like weird things like that, where I was like, oh, this feels familiar and cozy. And so for me, it's like experiences that I can replicate here that remind me or make me feel more connected to home.
And one thing that has always been constant in terms of my self-care is where I am spiritually. So if I feel like I've not spent enough time in prayer, not spent enough time just like in conversation with God and really trying to hear Him, that's when I start going out of whack. And I see it in everything. So I start procrastinating hectic. I procrastinate in general, but procrastination goes on another level. Work will start suffering on all ends. Exercising is really hard. Like, I love going for a good run. Yeah, if I've gone weeks without exercising, you know there's something wrong. And all it really takes for me is a good cry. Like, finally sit down and be like,
so good at that.
yo, I just need a...
respect and admire the way you allow yourself to just
like, clear the floor or all the things that are in my room and lie on it and just a good cry. And then a candid conversation with God. And I get back. And also speak kindly to yourself. That's one thing that I'm really learning, that I need to be my biggest cheerleader. Just really being intentional about how you speak to yourself, how gracious you are when you make mistakes, how gracious you are when you procrastinate for a whole week, how, just speak kindly to yourself.
yeah.
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
Self-care requires discipline. For some reason, it's like low on our priority list,
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, it makes such a difference that, I wish we could find ways to just prioritize it more.
Yeah.
By not, being intentional about self-care or find that discipline to have self-care, it actually starts affecting your dream. It affects how productive you are in pursuing your dream.
Yeah, I think for me, I lose focus. Yeah, and so I'm just slowing myself down in pursuing the dream, and I don't have a sense of, I guess, motivation, or it's harder to push myself. And so, take it, like, the self-care thing is so important because, how do I put it? You're keeping yourself sane so you can do what you need to do. Yeah.
I think you sort of brought us back full circle to just how important it is to care for ourselves.
Yeah.
Because the cost of not doing that is real.
Yeah.
They're real consequences.